Championship teams are defined not by the absence of adversity, but by how they respond when their most valuable weapons face unexpected challenges. Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, your daily source for every breaking development, strategic insight, and exclusive analysis about our Detroit Lions. I'm here bringing you the most critical updates and in-depth breakdowns about every move that impacts our playoff push. Make sure you're subscribed and notifications are turned on because what I'm about to share with you today will completely change how you view our offensive game plan moving forward into the most crucial stretch of the season. Let me set the stage for you. The Detroit Lions are in the middle of the most successful season in franchise history, sitting at the top of the NFC North with a legitimate shot at securing home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Our offense has been absolutely explosive, averaging over 28 points per game and establishing ourselves as one of the most feared scoring units in the entire league. Jared Goff has been playing at an MVP caliber level. Our running game with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs has been dominant, and our receiving core has created nightmares for opposing defensive coordinators week after week. Everything has been clicking at the highest level, which is exactly why the situation I'm about to discuss carries so much weight for Lions Nation. Here's where things get interesting, and I need you to stay with me because the details matter enormously. Over the past few weeks, there's been a development with one of our most consistent and productive offensive weapons that has required careful management from our coaching staff. This isn't something that happened overnight, and it's not something that the organization has been broadcasting loudly to the media. But if you've been watching closely, if you've been paying attention to certain patterns in our offensive deployment, you've noticed subtle changes that tell a bigger story. I'm talking about adjustments in snap counts, modifications in route combinations, and strategic rest periods that all point toward one conclusion. Our coaching staff is being incredibly proactive about protecting one of our franchise cornerstones during this critical juncture of the season. Amon-Ra St. Brown has been dealing with a lingering injury situation that's required smart management from Dan Campbell and offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. Now, before anyone panics, let me be completely clear about something. This is not a situation where we're talking about season-ending surgery or long-term absence. This is about a team that understands championship football requires keeping your best players healthy and fresh for January and potentially February. Sun God has been battling through some discomfort, and the medical staff, along with the coaching staff, have implemented a comprehensive plan to ensure he's at his absolute best when it matters most. Let me give you the context that explains why this matters so much. Amon-Ra St. Brown isn't just another receiver on our roster. He's the heartbeat of our passing attack, the security blanket that Jared Goff looks to in crucial third-down situations, and the player who consistently moves the chains when we absolutely need conversions. Through the first part of this season, he's been nothing short of spectacular, hauling in over 70 catches for nearly 900 yards and multiple touchdowns. His catch rate is among the highest in the NFL. His yards after catch ability creates explosive plays, and his blocking in the run game makes him a complete offensive weapon. When you watch film of our offense, you see how defenses have to account for his presence on every single snap, which creates opportunities for Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta, and our running backs. The injury he's dealing with has been characterized as week to week, which in NFL terminology means the medical staff is evaluating him constantly and making real-time decisions about his availability and workload. What impressed me most about how the Lions have handled this is their refusal to push him beyond what's medically smart, just to win regular season games. Campbell has repeatedly emphasized that they're building this team for a deep playoff run, not just to accumulate regular season victories. That long-term thinking is exactly what championship organizations do. They protect their assets, they plan strategically, and they don't sacrifice January success for December wins. Looking at the specific impact on our offense, there are several layers to consider here. First, When St. Brown is on the field, even at less than 100%, he commands defensive attention that opens up opportunities for everyone else. Defensive coordinators have to dedicate their best coverage defender to him. They have to account for him in zone coverages, and they can't load the box against our run game because of his presence in the passing attack. That gravitational pull he creates is invaluable, even if his statistical output in a particular game doesn't jump off the page. Second, his chemistry with Goff is so refined after multiple seasons together that they have an almost telepathic connection on certain root concepts. That timing and trust can't be replicated easily, which is why keeping him healthy and available is worth being cautious with his injury management. The good news, and this is where my optimism comes from, is that everything we're hearing suggests this is manageable and that St. Brown will absolutely be ready for the playoff push. He's been practicing, he's been participating in team activities, and most importantly, he's been vocal about his determination to help this team achieve something special. Players of his caliber play through discomfort all the time during playoff runs, and having a few extra weeks to properly manage this issue now means he'll be in better condition when the games truly matter. The Lions medical staff has an excellent track record of player health management, and I trust their process completely. Let's also talk about what this situation reveals about our offensive depth and the strategic planning that Brad Holmes and our front office have implemented. When you build a championship roster, you don't just focus on your starting 11, you develop depth at every position so that when injuries inevitably occur, your offense can maintain productivity. Caliph Raymond has stepped up beautifully in increased roles. Jamison Williams continues his development into a legitimate WR1 caliber player. Josh Reynolds before he left, and now other receivers have contributed. Our tight end group led by Sam Laporta gives us additional passing game weapons. This depth allows us to be smart with St. Brown's health rather than running him into the ground during the regular season. Dan Campbell addressed this situation with his typical honesty and transparency, acknowledging that they're managing certain players carefully while emphasizing that the focus remains on winning football games. His leadership through situations like this is exactly why players love playing for him. He's not sacrificing their long-term health for short-term gains. He's being honest about injury situations rather than playing games with injury reports. And he's building a culture where the ultimate goal is playoff success, not regular season accolades. That mentality permeates the entire organization and gives fans confidence that every decision is being made with championship aspirations in mind. The strategic adjustments we've seen in our offensive play calling also demonstrate Ben Johnson's brilliance as a coordinator. When St. Brown has been limited or needs reduced snaps, Johnson has adapted by featuring more 12 personnel groupings with multiple tight ends, increasing the workload for our running backs in the passing game, and designing plays that get the ball out of Goff's hands quickly to minimize exposure for any one receiver. These aren't panic moves or desperate adjustments. These are calculated strategic pivots that maintain offensive efficiency while protecting a key player. The fact that we've continued winning games and scoring points, even with St. Brown, less than fully healthy, speaks volumes about the overall quality of our offensive system and personnel. Looking at the remaining schedule and the path to the playoffs, having St. Brown healthy and fresh for January is absolutely crucial. The NFC playoff picture is incredibly competitive, with multiple teams capable of making deep runs. Home field advantage throughout the playoffs would be enormous for us, giving us the benefit of Ford Field's incredible atmosphere and eliminating the need to travel to hostile environments in crucial games. To secure that positioning, we need to finish the regular season strong, which means having our best players available and performing at their highest level. Managing St. Brown's injury properly now ensures he'll be ready to dominate when we're facing San Francisco, Philadelphia, or whoever stands between us and a Super Bowl berth. The broader context here is that every team in the NFL is dealing with injury management at this point in the season. The physical toll of professional football is immense, and the teams that navigate the final month successfully are the ones that manage workloads intelligently, use their depth effectively, and keep their stars as healthy as possible. The Lions are demonstrating organizational maturity and championship-level thinking by handling this situation proactively rather than reactively. We're not waiting until something becomes a major problem. We're addressing it now while we have the luxury of time and depth to absorb any temporary adjustments. I want to emphasize my confidence in St. Brown's toughness and determination. This is a player who has consistently shown up in the biggest moments throughout his career. He played through the struggles of being on losing Lions teams early in his career. He's elevated his game each season, and he's established himself as one of the most reliable receivers in the entire league. Players with his work ethic and mindset don't let injuries derail their seasons. They find ways to contribute, they do everything possible to get healthy, and they perform when their team needs them most. Everything about his character and history suggests he'll be ready to go when the playoff lights shine brightest. For us as fans, the takeaway here should be optimism rather than concern. Yes, dealing with any injury to a key player creates some uncertainty. But the way our organization is handling this situation demonstrates exactly the kind of long-term strategic thinking that championship franchises employ. We're not being reckless, we're not gambling with his health, and we're not sacrificing playoff success for regular season statistics. We're being smart, methodical, and strategic about keeping our franchise receiver in the best possible condition for the most important football of his career. That approach should make every Lions fan confident about what's coming in January and February. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments below. How confident are you in the Lions' injury management approach with Amon-Ra St. Brown? Do you think sitting him or reducing his workload in certain games is the right strategic move for playoff preparation? What adjustments would you like to see in our offensive game plan if he needs additional rest? Drop your thoughts because I read every single comment and I love hearing different perspectives from Lions Nation. Looking at this situation from every angle, I see a team that's thinking championship first and regular season second. That's exactly what we need at this stage of our franchise's evolution. Amon-Ra St. Brown will be ready when it matters most. Our offense has the depth and versatility to maintain production regardless, and Dan Campbell's leadership ensures everyone stays focused on the ultimate goal. The coming weeks will be about managing workloads wisely, keeping everyone fresh, and positioning ourselves for the deepest playoff run in Lions history. Before you go, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss breaking news about our Lions. Drop a like if you found this analysis valuable, and share this video with fellow Lions fans who need to understand the full picture. I'm here every single day bringing you exclusive insights and rapid updates about everything happening in Detroit. Let's bring a championship home to the Motor City. Until next time, one. Pride.